We welcome Dr. Pamela Srimangalam on board with Live Within Media. Dr. Pamela Srimangalam, a 50 top global mental health thought leader, outstanding mental health achiever, and multiple award winner with 2 decades of experience, is the founder and director of Mindscan, a center for healing, inner transformation, and life evolution. She is an accomplished author, psychotherapist, and life coach. She is a living medium and channel to receive messages from the ascended masters, ancestors, book of life records, and more. A PhD holder in psychotherapy and counseling from University of Swahili, Central Panama, America, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Research Center, India. She is also a licensed hypnotherapist and LNP practitioner from NFLNP USA. Her pathway into the emerging adaptable yet mystic field of science began with her personal experiences that she faced through the death of her near ones. Dr. Sri Mangalam, a believer of life and spirituality, is New Age energy healer, orator, spiritual mentor, and conducts national and international workshops, spiritual science energy healing programs, and meditation seminars for individuals and professionals.
Thank you. I cannot hear your voice.
I'm audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible
Yeah,
now.
thank
Yeah.
you so much for the inconvenience. Namaskar, ma'am. It's a welcome to the Live Within Talk Show, ma'am. And
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you so much for your valuable time, ma'am.
Thank you. Really
So,
honored. Thank you.
yeah. Ma'am, see, this today's situation, how's position is there, and Bollywood, Hollywood, सारा around the world पूरा हिला हुआ है. इंडिया में तो पूरा कह लीजिए सुनामी आया हुआ है ड्रग्स का. तो हमने सोचा क्यों नहीं इस बारे में लोगों को थोड़ा एजुकेट किया जाए, एंड so that people can educate and know the side effects of this. और अगर कोई ड्रग एडिक्ट है भी है तो उसको कैसे कम आउट किया जा सकते हैं, और ऐसे सोसाइटी से और इस तरह की सिचुएशन से वो कैसे बच सकते हैं, क्योंकि इस सिचुएशन के बाद लॉट ऑफ पेरेंट्स आल्सो आर टू मच वरीड कि उनके किड्स कहीं उस पे तो एडिक्ट तो नहीं है. तो हाउ कैन दे आइडेंटिफाई, और इस सब चीजों में करेंगे. एंड सिंस यू हैव द वेरी गुड एक्सपीरियंस एंड लॉन्ग एक्सपीरियंस इन दैट, एंड आपका जो है डेफिनेटली आज के शो में आपके एक्सपीरियंस से हमें उम्मीद है कि सारी हमारी ऑडियंस को दे विल गेट बेनिफिटेड हियर. बट बिफोर वी स्टार्ट अवर टॉपिक, तो हम जानना चाहेंगे कि अबाउट योर लाइफ जर्नी मैम. तो आपका लाइफ जर्नी के बारे में थोड़ा सा हमें प्लीज बताएं, ताकि ऑडियंस को भी पता चले कि आज के टॉक शो में कितने बड़ी सेलिब्रिटी हमारे साथ में हैं, and how can they benefit. And audience से request है, please up you can get ready your questions. We have received a lot of questions over here, and we will the ma'am will give the answers of the whole questions. In case you don't have sent to me the questions, you can write away, you can comment on the comment box, you can share the questions, and ma'am will answer the questions. Yes ma'am, please just give your small life journey.
Okay. So thank you, Lakshman. My life journey into this field, I will say, began with my birth in this lifetime. So my parents, we have 3 children together, like as me, my twin brother, and my younger sister. So we are the 3 kids in the family. But our journey involved a lot of travel because my dad has served Air Force at a period of time, and also like interacting with people, connecting with people, and knowing about light, knowing about divine. These were some of the questions that I always had in my awareness and would put across to the conversations. But as life flowed in, moved ahead, you moved cities, you moved in the different areas of corporate, and then further ahead, settle in the city of Mumbai through marriage, and we have a child together. there comes a time in life between 2007 and 2008 where life has to open up in a certain way, right? And when it has to open up, it may give you some pain, it may give you some grief, it may give rise to some difficult situations where you are needed to explore the deeper awareness about what's the truth about life. So that's where I would say 2007 and 2008 has been my biggest life changing years ahead, because the family that I'm married to, in my husband's family, there were few deaths that brought up the awareness about life has a deeper meaning, it has a deeper purpose. And I stopped feeling the need to connect with work, and rather wanting to know the answers about life and mysticism about life. So one book came in my hand through one of my airline colleagues who gifted this book, and there was this one topic. This book's name is The Laws of the Spirit World, and it had a topic connected with meditation. So that's where I got introduced to the topic of meditation and how it has the effect and benefit for mind. So, practicing the meditation brought me to the realizations that we are super being energy beings meant for higher purposes, or rather, our life is meant for transforming someone. And it's not about work, it's not about family, it's not about fulfillment of your day to day desires. Those are part of your composition of your life, but much beyond that there is a divine purpose or a higher purpose. And that's when I began to also feel that I need to explore this path, I need to step into this path. I got support from my amazing family, I got support from my colleagues, my friends, and that's how I started my independent practice in 2009 September. And this is the 11th anniversary since Mindscan, the Center of Healing, Inner Transformation and Life Evolution, was incepted. Thereafter, of course, I was back then serving the aviation industry. In 3 months after moving out, the full-fledged practice took over. And during the practice, of course, your clients, I mean, from the first day you started with your practice, your name was put upon the board. Patients began to flow into your clinic, and they began to give me a lot of lessons and learnings which I began to write down. I vividly enjoy writing, so began to make the notes, and from those notes I began to get the answers about life, and it did filled my heart with lot of joy and a sense of fulfillment about what's the real meaning of life, of course. But that was the earlier part of the journey. But as we moved ahead, stepped ahead further, the schedules became super packed and very very busy. But yet I began to feel that despite you working for long hours, sometimes 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, you can still attend emergencies in the morning without any feeling of lack of sleep. There was super energy that began to flow through you. And to a psychotherapist, basically individuals with mindsets or difficulties with mind problems should come. But in my clinic, all kind of clients, including even issues with womb or maybe hormonal imbalances, or central nervous system affected individuals, bedridden cases, all began to come over, which kind of like intrigued me that how can these people come to my clinic. And at times I did try putting sense that are you seeking psychology and psychotherapy for this, and they would say yes. And as I began to work in those areas, it did give a major transformation, like healing occurred internally. But I continued to write, I continued to meditate despite all the workload. And that's what I realized, that there is a higher divine energy, that we call it as light or positive thought or positive psychology. This force is what is giving rise to the change or the healing within the health or a mind or life of an individual. And thus I began to become more grateful, more happier, and began to bloom in life in a deeper way. So of course that became the transformation. But of course, further as the meditations continued, I call it channeling as in meditations, because when I do meditations, it's very rare that I don't have a rare experience. It's usually like I experience some phenomenal experiences which are very in depth and insight, and I feel like there's so much of inner peace and inner happiness and joy that you derive from this, that you are always peaceful and you can radiate that peace, the happiness, the growth energy to anyone that you meet outside. So that's where I would say that, my association with ascended masters began. And ascended masters, as I call them, as beings from light and who are here to help humanity in their earthrise energy, and also of course bring the earth out of the stress, began to come up. And as I began to work with them, more humanity formed in the transformation of healing. And back in 2014, began to have realizations that I need to launch online programs, or healing programs out of Mindscan. Till then I was only addressing clinical schedules and Skype schedules, but 2014 onwards the transformation came in, and that's where we launched our first Buddha healing workshop, which was a life transformer for many. Though we had only scheduled for 4 schedules of Buddha workshop in the year of 2015, we ended up doing more than 8. So which showed that the power of healing is very, very intense. And began to travel with cities thereafter related with work. And the more I began to connect further with meditations, different programs came up. And our programs are all channeled in the source of the light, where we have received it by writing through meditations for days and weeks at times. And the outcome is incredible transformation. So as Mindscan continued to grow, of course it did have students in India and abroad, but we also wanted now more people to contribute, because I did enjoy traveling but you were literally beginning to live out of the boxes. And that's
Right.
where, like, your team came up, who were hand trained equally in the passion, the drive, motivated to take ahead the healing in the further light, to bring in more light to people's hearts and consciousness. So we began
Right.
to have teachers in our network. Then we have meditation mentors who are taking care of different cities, and helping people to bring out their own darkness, and thus come to light and attain positivity. We might have heard about nirvana, enlightenment, awakening, super consciousness. So these are terms that we might have heard in the name of spirituality and healing and psychology. But what is
Mm.
this to really experience it without the word? In reality, the experience is a very deep internal feeling. You feel contented with everything, or you feel contented even without anything. And plus, you don't battle depression, you don't fear failures, you don't feel that life is incomplete, you feel complete in many ways. So this is what we began to give. And with me, I'm blessed to have an amazing team who is taking care. We have core team members, we have meditation mentors, we have teachers, and many students in India and abroad who are taking up this process to gift earth and humanity the naturality of healing. So I would
Right.
say my journey has come really in that way. And I feel accomplished for the reason that I am born and I'm alive and I'm living that life for which I was meant to be living. So that's the most important aspect. Whatever we do, if we find happiness and peace in that, there is no bigger joy than that. And
Right.
yeah, so that's how our life has transformed and Mindscan is incepted. So it's really an honor, to be here with you, and you talking on the topic on drugs.
Right.
And we can definitely give insights about how
Right.
this can affect mind, body, cripple life, and where the universe at this time is heading to because of this
Right.
difficulty, and how we
Yeah.
can help the future children and the present generation to find the light within their consciousness, so as not to get fallen into the dark pits of this.
Right, man. Yes, it's
So thank
really
you.
wonderful, ma'am. There's a you have transformed your life and you are transforming other lives also. There's a really, really great job. And thank you and best wishes to you and your entire team for this really great work. And have so many, the your testimonials of your students and or who have taken the classes and courses from you, and really awesome. That their feelings, their gratitude, and whatever they say about you, that's really shows that how they are satisfied and how you have transformed their life. So really congratulations to you and your team, and my best wishes to Mindscan always, ma'am. And
Thank you. I
yeah,
don't
let's
take
wish.
the credit. I don't like to take the credit. The credit belongs to the divine and my parents and my family for sure. Because see, your breath doesn't belong to you. You
Right.
were born in this life because of your parents' union, and
Yes, true.
your siblings came up in your life
Yeah,
who gave you support and company. Your
right,
extended family formed, and they are all the network of the consciousness of what we call as internal successes. But yeah, we must
right.
never chase the success in that. When we understand the success, I would say,
Yes,
your life changes. And I would say I
right.
got amazing circle of friends who really understands what I go through in the
Mm.
process of the service, and
Yes.
really happy. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, and really happy to know you reflect so much to your parents, and everybody should respect their parents because they are the only person who are real well wishers, and who always
Absolutely.
in lifetime they will support you forever. So uh, we go ahead the topic, ma'am. हम आगे बढ़ते हैं तो we discuss guys, as I already said कि भी आप लोग के कुछ questions है तो get ready with your questions, and we have already received some questions which ma'am will give the answers. So लेकिन but I request everyone to please like and share this talk to everyone so that people can get benefited, no people, and they can transform their life. Definitely this is the topic is very, very serious topics, and definitely lots of people will get benefited out of here, I'm sure. So ma'am, before we start the questions answer session, so we would just like to know about your opinion about the drugs and drug addicts, because there is drugs का ऐसा नहीं है कि ये स्मोक से है या आप हीरो कुछ ये सब ले रहे हैं, बट काफी सारी चीजें हैं, लेकिन स्पोर्ट्समैन भी ड्रग्स लेते हैं, वो स्टेरॉइड्स वगैरह लेते हैं जो कि बैन होता है, बाकी और चीजें भी हैं। और ड्रग्स को एक लिमिटेड फॉर्म में लेने से वो दवाई होती है, लेकिन ज्यादा फॉर्म में लेशन नशा हो जाता है, यू नो। तो वो जो चीज का वो डिफ्रेंशिएट करना, और हाउ यू कैन सेव, क्योंकि आज की डेट में किड्स और चिल्ड्रंस और इन सब में बहुत ज्यादा ये सब चीजें हाईली वो हो रही है, और हाई सोसाइटीज में ज्यादा हो रही है, छोटी सोसाइटी में होती है, लेकिन सब जगह है, कहीं ना कहीं वो चीज है। लेकिन हाउ कैन वी कंट्रोल, एंड हाउ कैन पेरेंट्स शुड अलर्ट अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग। तो व्हाट इज योर अपॉन ओपिनियन, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी टेक योर ओपिनियन अबाउट द ड्रग्स।
Yeah. To answer this question, Lakshmanji, I would like to define what is drugs, because ये एक बहुत important सी बात है कि drug को क्या है हम समझे. So drug is a substance, okay, which when taken into the body, it has specific actions created within.
राइट,
तो इसका मतलब ये है कि there has to be a consumption of something which is a drug. So it's a substance, right? It has the capacity to alter the body's functions for sure, either physically or psychologically or both.
यस,
Drugs can be both prescription or legal, okay? Like prescribed drugs या tablets जो हम कहते हैं, like tablets and caffeine which are permitted, even tobacco and alcohol, they are all part of prescription or legal permitted drugs.
राइट,
Likewise, drugs can also be illegal. So, for example, let's take the name of cannabis or cocaine or ecstasy or heroin. So, all of these things are illegal, or the drugs which will have more serious impacts on the system. That is why it is banned or illegal, because इसका जो specific reactions होता है वो body में काफी डेंजरस सा हो जाता है. So like in pharmacology, like for that's a natural level where the researchers world over and the medical field has come in the form of the diagnosis कि ये बीमारी के लिए this drug is needed or that medicine is needed. But here in pharmacology, a drug is a chemical substance which produces a biological effect when administered. This is also called as a medication or a medicine. But then this substance, which is basically intended to cure, treat, or prevent a disease or promote a well-being, is something which is known as a drug. तो ड्रग का जो कैटेगरी है इसमें दोनों आता है, गुड ड्रग एज वेल एज ए बैड ड्रग और एन इलीगल ड्रग. So illegal drug may, I mean, of course, that is not permitted according to the legal laws of states and of countries. Those are known as illegal. And jabki when in our country some drugs can be banned, whereas in some other countries it may be naturally be available. It depends upon the individual state rules as well as country rules. But then, yeah, how can drug affect? Of course, addiction कब होता है? And over usage of drugs, as we are aware, overuse of anything can lead to something which is not very healthy. Likewise, over usage of drugs can lead to addiction. एडिक्शन को हम लोग और भी कह सकते हैं कि दिस इज लाइक यूजिंग ए सब्सटेंस विच कैन क्रिएट ए डिसऑर्डर which is a mental and a spiritual disease. क्यों हम इसे mental and spiritual disease कहते हैं? Addiction can be termed as mental and spiritual disease because it not just affects person's brain and behavior, but it has an impact on the mind, body, and soul in a deeper way. Soul, we call it as a spirit energy as well. But addiction तभी होता है, of course there are lot of emotional factors that goes behind it. But addiction means inability to control the use. हमें पता है कि it may harm us, but yet we cannot stop it. And we feel the urge to keep taking it again and again. And this results in substance use that we call as disorder. And eventually, a dependency forms in. And this, of course, might have been started, like we can say, fun reasons. मस्ती मजाक में कर लिया, दोस्तों के साथ हो गया या peer के साथ हो गया. So it can be a recreational reason, right? But then yet, in most cases where there are strong addictions, there has to be an influencer behind the start. Of course, peer को connect करने में या फिर साथ में hang out करने में, most commonly during the younger teenage times or a younger adulthood time, so acceptance in the group, because what time is that is a time where individuals wants to connect with larger part of society or people more than family. When they are small kids, they are connected with family, but beyond that they need social connect. So where there is this influence and about the influencing qualities that you need to be here for this, and that's where you get pulled because of the peer pressure. And of course, drug addiction can start both in ways of legal drugs or illegal drugs. Like if we are taking a painkiller like an opioid, which is like meant for deep pain, individuals who goes through very bad cancer pain or body chronic pain, which is very difficult for them to even withstand, and their threshold to withstand that pain is depleted out of their energy body. So that's when opioid or a painkiller can be a prescribed drug. But again, even here addiction can be caused. But other than that, yes, illegal part of the drugs, like it begins to take a larger effect, because the drug definitely makes one feel good. And as the dosage in the system is reduced, in the sense, initially when you take a drug, it remains in your system for few hours, but then later the need again arises, or the mind of happiness comes back to realize that you felt good when you took it, so let me go back and take it. So every time their body is taking it, what happens is the need of the dosage in the system increases. And that's where one finds it very difficult to actually let go of the drug. And even if, like, okay, at times they may realize that this is not going to take me any good, and I need to change my habits or maybe pull up my life, but it has already gone into the system so much and started creating effects that we cannot come out of it, because
Right.
this not just travels into the portal of your brain, which I would like to explain in a deeper way, but it has gripped your consciousness, and anything that has gripped your consciousness, you feel like going back and living with it. It's like, when we read a good book, that book has always connected with our life memory, and
Right.
whenever we want, we can go back and keep reading the book, or the book that we like the most, or the books that we related, we would always want to go back and read it. Likewise, let's say movies or anything
Right.
that is of interest, a sport that we enjoy playing, we would always want to go back and play because it's bringing in some happiness, right? So this drugs also, like, they bring in this, they change the emotion. So a person who's underconfident at times, maybe a person at times who is feeling low and pressed with pressures about life, it actually frees them out of the stress. So that good feeling, they want to keep it retaining, and that's where the addiction develops as a natural habit. So yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah,
really
okay.
wonderfully you will explain very broadly and explain very well. Thank you so much. And I'm sure to keep people are understand the seriousness of these things and take care of. And we have received some questions. I will start taking the questions, and you have already, I think, answered these questions. How do we define the addiction means? So addictions means ka, if you can just briefly, agar if you can say something about the addiction.
Okay. So
Hmm.
what happens in addiction is the mind, body, and the congruence of all consciousness of an individual begins to just think and crave about that particular, the drug, or the permitted kind, or the permitted or the non-permitted drug. So they kind of crave. Okay. So what happens in addiction is, it of course gives you temporary alertness. It does give you some positiveness in the initial phases, but what happens is, like, this begins to take the capacity of the consciousness of the brain. Now, what here happens is, it changes the communication within the brain cells. The drugs, any drugs for that matter, it alters the communication within the brain cells. So for the drugs to take effect, it has to reach first of all the bloodstream. How will it reach the bloodstream? Anything that is consumed even as a pill through the mouth, or as an intravenous injection. So what happens here is, like, once it is there in the, of course, the tablet, for example, it goes into the gut. So in half an hour, 45 minutes, it begins to get transformed into the bloodstream, and that's where also intravenous has faster effect, because it is directly injected into the bloodstream. So here, the brain of all of us, like all of us as individuals, is naturally gifted with barriers, like they are called as filters or barriers, which is meant to filter the blood. So the function of the brain is basically to circulate the blood, and of course, in the circulation, to all the motor functions that is stored inside the brain capacity, the optimum function of the brain is maintained. However, when there is blood that is circulating, it is fine, but of course, the chemical composition of the drugs can go ahead and unlock the gate door of the brain, because it has that power within it. The chemical composition goes and opens the gate door of the brain. So once the brain begins to receive the chemicals, what happens is the synapses, that is, the part of the nervous system. So the synaptic transmissions begins to get affected, and that's where the overuse addiction is developed, and this begins to distort the personality of an individual, who begins to lose a connect with the normal reality. Thereafter, like, very key essential parts like perception, comprehension, reasoning, emotional capabilities gets challenged and constrained, thus giving rise to personality drainages or distortions. So an individual may begin to feel that he or she is behaving in a normal way, but it is not in adherence to the reality, because their personality is changing. It is controlled by the chemical composition, which is unreal,
Okay.
which is not natural.
Right.
And that's where they lose the grounding with the reality, and they begin to have vivid imaginations which may not have the truth of the reality. And yet they, and most most of the people who cannot connect with addiction, I mean, who are natural and they are positive, they are able to find reasoning, they are able to apply logic well, they construct their life well, and of course they are able to accomplish their dreams, their visions more positively, far more than people who are under the influence of drugs and addicted. And which also means it affects the life capacity. Addiction doesn't mean it is just a craving. When the congruence of the consciousness is so badly affected that they stop living the naturality of life, including not to work, because they cannot get up and work, or they don't realize when the natural timing, what natural calls have to be attended. They lose the complete the congruence of the consciousness. And then they also begin to have emotional outbursts which may have difficulties in the family or in the system of the family who they are leading or relating with. And also it affects the families in certain ways, where children or adults, they move out of the life not able to emotionally balance themselves, and they begin to lead a life reality which is way different than the normalcy. So it can affect life very, very badly. So
Mm.
yeah, so hope this clarifies the question.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much. You're very broadly and what in detail you have explained everything. But I request you just take your answer a bit short because we have a lot of questions and we have to we love. I'm sure you love to answer all the questions.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm
we
sure.
have
Yeah, we
Kanisha
have
Pandit
to
with
manage the
us,
time.
and she's asking, is there any way to undo effect of steroids in the body and it taken as medicine? Because
Yes,
the
so yeah,
hmm,
so that's a very interesting question. Yes, of course, there is a very positive way that we can undo the effect of the steroids, though it may take months and years.
hmm,
Like hard trained cocaine users who might have used cocaine for 14 to 15 years regularly in their life,
oh,
they when they go into the detox or the rehabilitation sessions where they need to come out of this, it may take more than 3 months to 3 years to 4 years to come out of the state and they faced. Because of course the drug effect is not same for everyone. It depends
yes,
upon the mindset, it depends upon the body type, it
right,
also depends on your genetic inheritances of
right,
certain states and immunity. And of course how much are you working out, because yeah, for any kind of addiction to come out, the most important aspect is to work out. That's the most important thing. But that's where we lack motivation, because the workout basically helps to eliminate the toxins. Like there have been certain researches, you can view it online, and in the researches, like, you can go ahead and see that even if an individual has been not been taking drugs for a few years after being in the thing, but the test, the body cells still shows the presence of those chemicals. Why? Because it's stored inside the fat pockets. And of course, if it was water soluble, the tablets or the drugs, it would have got eliminated. Like vegetables basically are water soluble, and but then the chemical drugs are not. It has already entered your central nervous system, and from there further it has found its pockets inside the fat pockets, and that's why it's difficult to eliminate out of the system. But a strong discipline, of course, they have to go through detox, through a rehab where the monitoring of such individuals is carried out very effectively. Cravings are very high, and yet even the difficulties like nervousness, mental disorientation, the pain threshold, all may be very difficult for them to emotionally handle. And even to handle them in the house is very difficult, because family, they become very emotional to see their own family member under the influence of drugs. and yet the victim or the individual is affected with the addiction can bully them to use it in many forms and emotionally exploit them to keep consuming it. So a proper rehab and admission is the first thing that is needed, but along with that, a lot of water intake. Your water capacity has to increase 3 to 4 times, and that's where elimination occurs. There are herbs, there are other things that can help you to remove it out, and of course psychology to be brought up, the willpower to be brought up, because it's not just about the peer pressure or to hang out in the social circle. That drug may be a dependency, but more than that, at times, most of the times, where there is difficulty related to emotional bullying, that's the most important aspect that prevents an individual to ever come out of a drug addiction. Because bullying can be at all stages and all phases of life. It is not just constrained to school or the environment that they are growing in. It can be even at your college level or at your work level, or even in your social hangout circle. You will find people who are emotional bulliers. So if you become victims to that, of course, then you want to feel that something is needed for me, or a superpower is needed for me. So it can be created as a habit of aggression that is built up within, and but also there are cycles of abuse that internally goes as tormentations to fill up the void for which an individual become addicted. Or also, like if there is a family history, the generational ancestral history that classically comes into the picture, that it's fair, it's fine to connect with drugs, and this is how it has to be. So the beliefs is already carried over in your genetic consciousness from the ancestral beliefs, so
Right.
then you feel it is right to do. So there are so many other aspects that goes into the larger compartments. But yes, a right kind of vegetarian diet which will have lots and lots of grains and lot of greens, because when the drugs are taken or consumed, magnesium, which is the most important element inside our memory, and also of course we have vitamins and minerals that adds on to the body system, the magnesium is sucked out because it's used by the chemical already. That's when your
Right.
body feels extremely weak, you feel tired, and of course you don't have function of to strength to carry out any function. So when the detox regime is given or the treatment regime is given, with the therapies, or the mind or the energy healing therapies, the herbs, the detox water, the physical exercise, long hours of physical exercise for 1 2 times in a day, meditations to help them to connect with the capabilities of life, all of this combination, and is willpower that is developed very strongly to
Very true.
outgrow it, can give rise to a successful outcome. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. You well said. The willpower is very much needed to come out all these things. So yeah. So should we take a next question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
We have
I
this
can.
Parvina Chettiar, and what is the most important for re-addiction to be successful?
Okay, so as I said, a very strong willpower. That's the
Right.
most important aspect that is needed for the de-addiction to be successful. Because see, whether the tablet is given, physical exercise is given, also like you have all the remedies, natural detox, vegetarian things, motivator to influence you to come out of this. But yet, it is your willpower that is in charge, that is super developed, that
Right.
will not allow you to go back to the old state. One, secondly, come out of addiction very successfully. So it's a
Hmm.
combination of most of it. So a right approach with the mindset, I will say, it begins right there. Because
Right.
at times we may see individuals suffering, but yet the mindset is not there that I want to find a cure or I want to come out of this situation. They are perfectly okay to live with it. So what, it's fine, I have this problem and that I have it, so it's not a, how is it going to affect you? So if the mindset is in a reverse mode, Of course you cannot change that, and an
Right.
open mindset is what, but there comes a phase of realization in everyone's mind at some stage of life. Okay, an individual, for example, at 26, 30, family may be behind, society may be behind, friends may be behind, come out of the addiction, it is not healthy, it will not do any good for you. But some life situations will come up in 30, 40 years of life where they set into a sense of realization that all that I was doing was not healthy or was not right. Because the inner consciousness guides you sometimes when you are able to listen to it. That's
Right.
the beginning of your transformation. So that one spark of your inner call can, outbeat everything else and, bring out a positive transformation. So hope
Right.
that clarifies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have another. We take the question and Sheetal with us. And how can we help people to get out of the addiction without sending them to the rehab? It's a very
So yeah,
important question.
yeah. When we have specific centers already meant for serving the purpose, we have to remove the barriers associated, because, I will say psychology, mental rehabilitation centers that can help individuals to come out still carries, society's stigma, because, the family is labeled, or people label them, oh, one child of their or one family members from this family is addicted, and, nothing can be done about it. So that's a general perception and comprehension that goes in. So when we say that we don't want to send them to rehab, I mean, then the family has to pay connected with that, the tune and the emotional tantrums that they will go through. So of course we can help them, but yeah, it's a very strict process, and if someone or many members in the family can support that cause, definitely we can accomplish a milestone. Like for example, a family that, joins together, doesn't blame one another that it was because of this person and that action and this deed that this individual has become. First of all, we have to stop the blame game and, take charge that, okay, we don't have to really affect each other's emotional the sides, rather help that this victim we have to bring out of the space. So then, disciplining the family, the individual, like if for example if they are needed to take physical workout, so which may be long hours of jog, or, being with nature or beaches, or, rather taking care of physical fitness for 2 to 4 hours in a day, morning and evening combination. So in such case, somebody has to be there, right? Because they can mentally still escape, they can go and come back without doing exercise, or maybe they may go out in the name of exercise and again consume another drug and come back. So someone will have to closely monitor, or a team has to be there, which also makes the victim realize that, they are, maybe they are suspicious about me, and they develop a paranoid approach. So which means they lose the trust in their own family members who are going behind them. So if you are mentally mature, then yet, yeah, first go equip yourself from the doctor, the center, the rehab places where you are trained how to handle a victim in your house. So equip yourself, and most importantly, you cannot lose out on your emotional balance when dealing with this, because it can be tough. For days together they may show a very good, remarkable improvement, but one day is fine enough to bring all the efforts back into the space, back into the drain. So then what happens is, like, the caretaker or the supporters of the family will also lose out on their heart. Basically, will this help? They will also have suspicions, they will also have doubt whether this is working, why is this person not changing. Drug take years to come out of the system, if it is taken for longer time. So are you willing to put across that many number of years to bring them out? So that's where, first of all, eliminating, mental stigma associated with why do we need to send them to rehabs, that needs to be eliminated. But yes, if it is at a milder level, it is identified in the initial stages, and the family is standing strong and united and don't create dramas associated of the issues, they can definitely help them out. a combination of it. But yes, it is important to get yourself trained for this before you give it a try to your own family member. It is better to go through training and then go ahead
Yes,
resolving it
definitely it's
rather
need a
than.
lot of patience, a lot of motivation for the patient also, and for as well as for you also, because it's
Yeah,
very routine job you have to, and your all family member have to. Uh, yeah,
correct.
rightly said. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I think Sheetal have got the answers, and we have the Gunika Patel with us. Can I get addicted if I do it just one and a while?
It depends
What's the
upon your mindset, Gunika. Basically, yeah, you can get hooked to it in the first aspect itself, or a multiple number of timelines is needed where you are, infusing your body with a drug to get addicted. It's
right?
important to know what kind of a mindset you carry first. If you carry a
Mhm.
very strong, developed mindset, and the willpower is strongly charged, and plus there are no pockets of emotional bullying or internal traumas that you have locked up inside your consciousness of your mind, it shouldn't actually affect you. And yet, then the question comes, why do you need to try once in a while? So, if you think you can find your life without it, yeah, so be it. Because, yeah, there are so many things in the name of drugs that is being sold out in the
Mhm.
market, and people have different thoughts about it, but it is your ultimate call. Do I need to take it, or can I stay off it? So that's it. Yeah, you cannot of course become addicted in just by taking once or twice, but then slowly,
Mhm.
as the internal threshold rises, that I'm finding a certain state of happiness and I need more of it. So that's where you're getting slowly addicted, and by the time you realize that I need to come out of it, your body has already got immune with the addiction,
Mhm.
and that's where you cannot come out of it. That's where all other problems and stories comes up. Your kidneys will give away, your heart will have palpitation, your brain will have a different thinking mechanism. It will not work in the critical atmosphere. Like for example, there is an emergency but you feel it is normal, there is no emergency. So criticality of the mindset also changes, so your body actually gives way. So it will have multiple things. Yeah.
Mhm.
So thank you,
Simply,
Kunal.
I just say must, if you don't love your life, so definitely you just go ahead. Otherwise, if you love your life, so please come out from this all these things. And definitely, once
Correct.
you have the strong mindset and you have the good willpower, and you decided to come out, definitely you will come easily. Otherwise, life will
Yeah.
be mess, definitely. So
Yeah.
some Mr. Sukhdev is there, and creating atmosphere and make them understand. He's asking, I think, in the between is something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Creating atmosphere and making them understand. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He also asked, "Are you from
So
Delhi?" Yeah.
because yeah, in between,
I
yeah.
reside in
So
Mumbai, but yes, I do visit Delhi,
yeah,
and it's only in
yeah.
this city that
So he's
all
asking
the
you really, yeah. So we'll
yeah.
share the map number on the comment box. So definitely you can take the number from there, and you can approach ma'am directly if there is any issue. She'll definitely help you guys. Don't worry about that. And there is one Harshit
Even
Singh
if you
is there
don't
with
have
us.
issues, I'm sorry. Even if you don't have issues, you just want to connect with the positive aspects of psychology. Yet you can chat.
Yeah, any issue, any kind of, the ma'am has a long experience and so many modalities she's there. So then, and soon she's coming with a very great workshop. So we'll discuss at the end of the session. So let's Harshit Singh is there. What's properties in the drugs make them addicting?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he's asking why do only some people get addicted to drugs? Yeah. So
Yeah,
certain
again.
mindsets, yeah, certain mindsets, and a weak-willed, subservient, bullied individual who has difficulty managing their own emotions, and for that they want a dependency on drugs, can easily get addicted to drugs. But
Hmm.
the strong willpower is what can help them to come out of those difficulties. Depends upon personality traits. In psychology there are 16 different types of personality traits that one carry, and every individual has at least four of those main personality strengths that is always in the forefront. but which are docile or the weak energies, that is what hell creates a difficulty for individual to actually get connected to the stronger version of their self. And that's where addiction becomes a easy trait and easy gate for them to get hooked with it. So it depends upon individual mindset, individual personality types, and the amount of emotional jackups, bullying, victim, trauma, abuse, patterns of flow that one might have gone through, that makes them get connected to the addiction. So hope this clarifies. Yeah.
Right.
Creating atmosphere and making them understand. Absolutely, Sukhdev ji. Yeah, creating a
Yeah.
healthy environment is very important. Yeah. What
So
properties
I think,
drugs makes them
uh,
addictive? Yeah.
yeah.
So as I said, the drugs has got chemical components, and the chemical
Hmm.
components which opens up your brain gate door, travels into this space and create different emotions. Okay, different drugs have got different abilities of creating emotions. Some can be a central nervous system depressor, some can create a higher elated feeling, some can make you over emotional, some can make you feel super elated with your personality. So there are different drugs operating in different energy zones, so that wherever whichever drug one gets hooked to based on their mind types or the chemical body type makes them hooked to it. So properties of the drugs does play a major role. Like someone can get addicted even with wine, and someone can get addicted with hardcore alcohol or a drug. So it depends upon how it is. So how can we get connected to man? Okay,
Yeah.
thank
So
you.
there is one another question is related to this. What is the age life to addict the people, Mr. Sukhdev?
Yeah, average life of
Average.
addicted people. So yeah, sometimes if the drugs are consumed way in a younger age of life, and they have not honored or adhered to the laws or disciplines of good morality in life, or positive aspects of life, and they have just wasted their life in the usage of drugs, they do have younger or shorter lifespan. Like we have seen, also witnessed cases where individual may die even less than 35 30 years because they just drop dead. The thing is, the toxins have gone in way too much into the system, and it has affected the major organs, the brain, the lungs, the kidneys, the heart. Body is very weak because the calcium is fully absorbed out of the brain, I mean the bones, and then the important minerals are absorbed out of the brain. So because of which the immunity is very weak. And also the aura, something that we call in the energy healing science, that gets highly distorted because it lives in a lot of empty pockets there. And because of which there is a lot of other energies which we call as paranormal energies that gets into the system. So a combination of each of this reduces the lifespan of an individual. And of course there are still individuals who may survive for a longer time, 50s and 60s also. But depends upon individual people, and if they have given up and have worked out on coming out of it. But it takes a long way to come out of the addiction, and more than that, lot of the life is already compromised because of the difficulties. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So is again asking, it is also linked to depression start to end.
Yeah, the chemical imbalance can actually conk your brain inside. You are not realizing, but their depression has already set in, and
Yeah.
of course, you feel elated, and then again, the chemical imbalance. The moment it is, the chemical effect is gone, depression sets in, and then again you want to take it because you don't want to feel depressed. But depression is an internal darkness that only our heart, our spirit, our soul has the courage to come out of it. It's an inner battle. There may be a lot of compositions related to it, experiences and difficulties, fine. And day-to-day stresses at times, like people are not connected to meditation, naturality, spirituality. They're only wanting to go run behind money, materialism, bigger desires and bigger fulfillment, comparisons with peer pressure. I want to be more dominant, super in the higher level. So those kind of ego trips can definitely put you for depression, because nevertheless, whatever you have, you are not happy. So eventually those also affects the internal mindset. So finding the balance within the mind, calming the mind out of the expectations, learning to let go of some of the needs which we feel is compulsive and needed, can bring about some happiness within our consciousness. Because if you observe in this COVID situation, world was locked down, and people found themselves to live within the resources what was needed. Lot of overspending, lot of external dependencies actually stopped, and which made us realize that we can be equipped with so many things, and but what we need in the day-to-day life is very handful or very minimal, and yet we can find our
Right.
happiness by fulfilling in the contentment of what we are living. So beating the depression is a must, and yes, there is a very high scale of depressive trend seen in even from younger generation. Also, yeah, natural depressions when we have the loss of a loved one, a child, a parent, a sibling, a partner, can all be depressive. But yet, coming out of is important. These are natural things, but
Right.
day-to-day realities, how we cannot get into depression, is our outlook. That should be on a priority list. How to remain positive, how to remain in the alignment of light, and how to value life. So these things will help to beat the depression. And yeah,
Yeah.
Madhuri has this
Yes, we go
amazing.
to the next question, ma'am. Quickly, can this Utru Madhuri is there with us, and can cellular level healing work in this case? And if yes, kindly explain the modality.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
cellular level energy and healing really, really, really works in this. And because,
Mm.
see, the cells within our conscious nervous system, we have trillions of
Mhm.
cells, we are aware about it. And with, every breath that we take in, those trillions of cells are actually getting eliminated, and new set of cells are coming back. That's why what is sustaining our life. So, of course, a chemical composition that is getting hooked up inside the cells, we can heal it. And for cellular healing, I strongly talk about what I practice in my mind scan. That is something which is known as invocation and activation and infusion of ascended masters lights, because it's through a meditative trance. But the moment the meditative trance is induced, we begin to infuse the lights of the ascended masters, and that's where the individual who is willing to absorb it begins to receive it in the deeper consciousness. It travels in multiple levels. Of course, from the physical level, it travels into the ethereal layer where all the chakras and the cells are connected, deeper further into the mental and emotional levels and soul levels and spiritual levels. So the light that is penetrating into the deep consciousness, it's like a seed that is planted, and that's what remains in the consciousness and begins to eliminate the toxins out of the system. So what we have seen is when we work with cellular energy healing with the lights, individual's body begins to release out those energies which are unwanted and toxins that are accumulated. So there are sneezes, cold, cough, releases to the bladder, bowel, perspiration, increased perspiration, all of that, and a lot of desire to drink more water. So these things eliminates the toxins of the system. So a combination of energy healing, right kind of eating, more intake of water, which is not forced intake. Okay, water for some, taking water can be very tough because they don't enjoy drinking water, but
Mm.
the cellular healing automatically develops the body within which is asking for water, because where there is penetration of light, that automatically eliminates the darkness within. So where there is light, of course, the shift of healing occurs. So very good question, and yes, I hope you understood. We have different modalities, of course. We have master practitioner course, ancestral healing, mother quine and healing, all our channel program, Buddha Healing, all of these are carrying invocations of ascended masters and different levels and different planes. So we have seen tremendous shifts, and sometimes we have also seen, like, deeper addictions getting stopped in a matter of 3 weeks to less than 3 months, developing the willpower, which we work out through the processes of sessions and through workshops. So
Right.
hope this was clarified. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sheetal with us, and she is asking, being a healer, how can we help the addicted person, like as changing their belief through the DNA work helps?
Yes, yes, yeah. Definitely, yeah. Being a healer, a spiritual healer, a mind transformer healer, and a positive transformer, we can definitely help, an addicted person, because, we are that spark of their light who they look up to, where we
Hmm.
can, help them. Definitely the DNA work. What happens in the DNA work? Belief work is also very important. DNA work, of course, integrates lights of the higher consciousness from the DNA world, which is activated through the brain consciousness of the individual, which is a spiritual processes, energy healing modality work. But when it is carried, what happens is tons of energy offload occurs, which are negative energies, or that is barriers within the consciousness. So there will be again a lot of releases that the individual goes through, and of course the sleep becomes very, very deep. So when the deep sleep is occurring, the craving reduces, one thing. And of course, they wake up to a newer self of their consciousness, and they feel that they have transformed within. And it's here that their entire belief becomes a very formative awareness for them. And then when you say, okay, look, this belief of yours, this foundation of yours is where, you might have probably took it wrong, and that's how you went into this zone. They begin to be receptive about understanding this. Otherwise, we may pick up on all the beliefs as a healer or as a therapist or as a practitioner, but how much they will understand about belief, no idea, because their consciousness is something different, right? So when the belief is open, when they're inner, like, it's like when you write, words on a slate, you look at it, you absorb it, you capture it in your mind memory. But even when when too many words are written on that same slate, of course you may not remember everything. But here,
Right.
when your DNA activation is done, that slate gets very clear internally, because your mind is getting decluttered. And long hours of sleep, and of course, when you wake up, you want to eat healthy food, you don't want to eat junk. So there is a natural transformation within, and that's when the individual begins to look within themselves in a positive way. And that's when you can talk to them, okay, this is your belief system and you need help in this, and they can easily adapt to it. So DNA work, belief system changing work, all of it can amazingly help, because it really develops a positive mindset of an individual, and it is the change in the positive mindset to the further upgradation that can bring them in the higher light of healing.
Right.
Yes, yeah. Our
So
willpower and traits works wonderful for them. Yeah, very true.
that's really wonderful, ma'am. And once we have a one question, ma'am. Somebody wants to know what are the side effects of the drugs.
Huh. So side effects are many, right from internal comprehension getting affected, memory getting affected, reality getting distorted. Uh, this is at the psychological level. Also cravings that is not very natural. So these things works in the mindset, and of course they can be super related at one time. At time they can be very highly depressed, and they can be also, like, creating difficulties in the sense, like, aggression, anger and all may be very high. So which means they can create life difficulties for others in the environment. They can internally also affect someone with, physical abuse and traumas, or including life difficulties of threatening. But body wise, yes, it does give rise to a lot of organ related issues, and health going haywire with lot of other issues of brain and kidneys and heart related over a period of time. And at the soul level or the spirit level, what happens is the energy that is highly weakened in the consciousness, it's attracting in paranormals that is, dead energies of other beings, and which is also filling up the void of the individual. So personality distortion further gives rise to further personality disintegration, and that's where the soul begins to sink deep inside the negative energy, and which is tough at that time because they forget their own people. A very difficult phase where individuals may just forget who their normal family members are, or they no longer feel belonged, and they step out and live in situations where we see, they can be addicts on the road. They don't recall who they are, where they are sleeping, what they are eating. So they lose all the mental natural capabilities and functions, which is very tough and very sad. And that's the case that we see today, world over. It is rising because their family may be wanting to help, but they cannot seek help because these people, they don't get grounded. So healing is needed for them, and that's why we have to follow the legal ethics of our country and our states rules, because it's important to bring about a very healthy society. And we might have lived our life majorly well, but what are we going to leave back to the society, our future children, our future generations of humanity? What, when they're going to come back, what are we going to give back to them? So if we have a holistic vision about it, that this life is not just about myself, but a life meant for me to serve in the larger capability and
Yeah,
consciousness of the universe, and let me believe and understand that all beings are a part of me. And that's when we call as a universal brotherhood and oneness. So this integration
right,
can definitely help society in a larger way.
right. And next question, ma'am. Some Madhuri ji want to know ki how you connected, so you can give the answer. She want to connect it with your organization and all. How can they can join you?
So
So we will definitely share the numbers of ma'am's number, everything, and you can contact her directly there on the comment box. You will get her number. Definitely, yes, ma'am.
yeah, so Mindscan, which is a center for inner healing, transformation, and life evolution, has been giving a lot of positive psychology programs and life transformation experiences, and including energy channel programs, which is all pure by itself. And we have 10 programs running out of Mindscan in the present. And every month we have 1 to 2 programs, either facilitated by a teacher or by me, or meditation sessions carried out by our different mentors in different cities and countries. And of course, these are connected with online channeling, process. So anywhere in India you can connect to us. Our email IDs are there, our contact numbers, you will find it, or you can take it from Lakshman ji, or
Yeah,
it's easily available.
right,
And whoever reaches out, uh, it is ensured that we will take care of you. Our outlook is not about any form of exploiting you, but it is to bring about a positive transformation through professional consultations and therapies that is definitely meant to shift your life. And we understand the value about life very importantly. We carry out lot of causes as well, like we have community causes out of Mindscan, where we heal children affected with autism, affected with cerebral palsy or congenital conditions free. And we have seen lot of cases where there are children who were not able to speak, talk, connect with the naturality of life. They have found the voice to talk and naturally transform. We heal COVID cases in that sense in the community, which is free. We also work for grief of the individuals after having lost first, someone loses and they are not able to come up with it. Our team reaches out and really works in strengthening their mind. And also, yeah, we work with causes related to senior citizens, where children might have abandoned them, or not might give them the support emotionally and physically, and at a very old age of life they feel abandoned, and stress adds up, which gives rise to the health condition. So we give free healing for that. Many causes are there. Other than these things, we have professional paid programs as well as professional services available. So these are the ways we give back to the universe. One of our agenda where we receive our value of professional fees is that we don't want to create any wrong karma in the universe, and yet help people to understand the value of service. So it's on those lines. So it's never about exploitation, but it is about right psychology, right mindset, right, reaching out to the light, and that's how we grow, and that's how we can,
Right.
bring about naturality back. So can reach out, and really really, we'll be happy to have you with us.
That's great. So, ma'am, there is we just moved the another question. So, I just flashing the ma'am. My question is based on the soul effects. These long-term effects, in spite of stopping the uses of drugs and stop in the body, it's carried on along with the soul's imprint, and or it's it possible to completely heal the same after stopping it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting question. Yeah, if the healing has occurred and the person has
Hmm.
transformed while being in the life of awareness of the body and the mental cognition itself, of
Hmm.
course it will not be carried forward. It does. It may have some soul effects, but not in a very major level. But
Right.
yet, if the individual has witnessed a death when it has not received any healing, and it has builded up a specific karma related to the negativity that it has builded up, and of course,
Hmm.
it was not a natural death because it was complications of drugs or chemical things. So what happens is, we all know that we are a spirit being, a soul energy being. Where does this soul go back to? It goes back to the source of the light, or what we call as the astral dimensions or astral planes. So we go back to that phase, and again, time and again the soul has to come back in the journey. So when it comes back to the journey, all the faculties which are healed or unhealed, it brings back this constitution back in the new birth of life.
Right.
So sometimes, like I tell you, I was working on a case related to a female whose child had autism, and this was through professional therapies. And during the work in this space, of course, autistic children, you cannot put them in for direct session, for the reason that they are not able to mentally comprehend the session, and their thoughts keeps shifting here and there. So I was doing a therapy session with the mother, and it's still going on. But when the therapy sessions were induced, we went back to the state of the consciousness to heal the child, what it is possible to help the child to come out of this. And that's when the mother also got back into the awareness as to how this child had carried a past drug abuse trauma in the space where his consciousness was completely shut off in the present reality because of this issue. So it did carry a genetic as well as a past trait, and of course in the family also. In another case, like when we were working, uh, so this child of about 7 years of age, from the time he has been born, he's been having extreme level of fits or convulsions. So he has
Right.
multiple convulsions in a single day, as much as 25 to 40 convulsions. So his body growth is limited. His everything the parents tries, it's not working. So when we began to heal this child, and there was a very clear indication that was a genetic inheritance. So we asked the family, is there anyone in the family who's gone through a traumatic death or a unhealed life? So there comes a history that the parent, the father's younger brother, who was way back when he was a young child, a youngster, had crossed away, and he did have the similar condition. So the day the boy was having extreme convulsions of up to 40 counts in a day, that day we worked on the resolution of that ancestry, and that moment the child stopped convulsing. So it can be internal processes. That's what energy healing does. You track the issue from where it is originated, and when you free the issue, the one who's living the reality in life, they undergo transformation. But trusting the process is very important, because metaphysical processes can be deep, and at times we cannot really understand what is happening, but we can slowly learn and develop our capabilities to it, and then once we apply it, we see actually transformations and healing occurring majorly. So we have had many cases like Mindscan since its inception has more than 10,000 plus clienteles, and workshop people undergoing students, their lessons are different, and that's what we realize, that the world needs so much of healing, and there are lacks of professionals, mental health professionals, healers and practitioners worldwide. Yet the mental need and the challenges are still growing. Why is that? The grounding is getting lost. The origination from where the value system of life, the beliefs about life, has somewhere deteriorated, and it is losing the connect to the reality. And this is what we do, bring it back to normalcy, to see if we can have a better generation of safety ahead. So hope this is clarifying
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So we have a lot of more questions. There is one question we have sent by how to maintain our own balance and integrity, especially for teenagers, and when they are already going through hormonal imbalance and not emotionally strong or say no.
Okay. So of course, yeah, that's a very tender timeline where the individuality is getting developed, and yet
Hmm.
the youngsters, the teenagers, they feel they are already an adult, but the parents knows that they are still a child, but they are no
Yeah.
longer a child. So there is a lot
Yeah.
of internal hormones that gets developed, and which makes them feel super elated and feel that yeah, I am really grown up. But you know what? What I generally feel, that a environment that is healthy in the family circle, where we have time to talk to one another, where we hear and listen and learn to obey, and understand that family is an integral system and family values does matter. Yeah, we are all in a life zone where timeline can be constrained, because majority of the times both the parents can be working or engaged in social causes or communities, which is their their responsibilities. But morally being available, and becoming less judgmental, like the world is there to judge them, but we have to give them the feeling that it's safe for you to talk to your parents. Safety is very important, and that's where the grounding also gets established. Even if there is something that goes around, the child should have the courage to come up and talk to you and relate to your day-to-day experiences. So when we are in the conversation of the value system, or integrity of union together, it's less that a child can actually move out in a difficult situation. And even if there might have been situations or difficulties that might have stemmed up, how being together as a family we can help the child or children to not become prey or victims to that in future. That's where we can engage them in social skills, develop talents, activities, physical development classes, or mentoring programs where their mindset is strongly developed. So those kind of activities and engaging them in physical sports, and also yeah, uh, playing a major role, that we are there for them. So it helps them to balance and doesn't really affect them that much. So before the issue of the addiction gets into your door, take care of your child inside the door, so that he or she can face it, is what I can say.
Right. Right. So, ma'am, quickly I take a next question. There is a very good questions we have. What are the responsibility of family and friends towards a patient to come out of this?
So the most important quality responsibility is being available, being empathetic, less
Yeah.
judgmental, and
Yeah.
more empathetic. Yet, our understanding lies in the faith that we can help him or her to come out of it. So we have to here eliminate people who can be bad influences, or individuals who may play a tantrum, not knowing the mindset of the affected individual. So cutting away the list who can be not be very healthy. So that's one of the responsibility that we can, take charge of. And
Right.
other than that, yeah, the responsibility also comes in that, we have to engage in meaningful conversation and more of dialogues that is based on positive psychology, and eliminating also technology devices, a lot of dependency on technology devices. Rather, train the mind, train the body, train them outlook by, practicing technology detox for 4 hours, 6 hours in a day. I know it can be little challenging in this phase of the life where people wake up to view what's the news, what's the WhatsApp things, what's there on Insta chats, literally sleep late night and wake up early in the morning and getting onto that. So these are very common things that people say, but we have
Right.
to actually practice that discipline to get detox out of the handsets. Like, I like to practice that, and I really find a lot of scope. Okay, unless it is an emergency, people should not end up calling you. And if it's life related, yes, you can connect. But more importantly, you need to have your sanity mentally present to give rise to a positive change. So, what are you observing in your spiritual discipline? So, is it not easy for us to stay away from technology for a few hours and then work at that time in a creative outlook, in the sense like you write, you draw, you create your desires that is meant for what you're going to leave back for the humanity. So, something that I enjoy very clearly is writing, and
Right.
the tons of books that I keep writing all the time, quotes or positive affirmations. That's one of it, but I keep writing on themes related to life. So when I keep writing, I and derive a certain state of internal happiness, that it's so beautiful to connect with your own energy of higher wisdom of words. So when we develop these positive qualities, I would say, we can have a very good discipline established, and that's a responsibility of all the family. Yeah, emotionally
Right.
being there, being empathetic, being positive, understanding the emotions that is affecting and how you can positively transform. That's your outlook, but don't bombard them with do this, do that, and this is what is best. Don't put your opinion, because that individual has a mindset. Let the mindset come up. So your work is to develop the mindset, not become a commander where you are putting the force like this is what you need to
Mhm.
do. Let the mindset develop. That's what I would say.
Right. Right, ma'am. Beautifully said, ma'am. And we have another question. Does the rehab really works when they are not enough strong to change initially, internally?
Why, when are they not? Yeah, I would say that yes, rehab, they not cannot deny that it does not work. It does work, but there are multiple factors that is again involved. Like, if it is associated with a holistic complete transformation, and a lot of aspects are covered, not just chemical management, but life vision management. Purpose within the individual has to be brought back to the vision, so that he or she understands what my purpose, and that purpose is what keeps them going. So yeah, but there have been experiences about different people, about different rehab places. So to find a place where everything can be addressed under one roof, and which can be more connected with humanity, is what I would say it works. I also have seen individuals being in rehab and coming out of it well, but depends per case to case. But there are a lot of people who come walk into my clinical sessions in the clinic as well, and they don't want to go to the rehab, but then first few weeks of brainstorming really helps them to come up with their this thing, that is their willpower, and I begin to help them to find their meaning in life, and give them a journal, give them a notepad, and get them to write. When I know that they are not writing, which I know that they are beginning to play on to the thing, so they are not serious enough. So that's where you have to work in a stronger way. It is a challenge, it is not a shortcut, whether it is in rehab or through therapy sessions. To get a addict out of the addiction is not an easy job, but many things are involved. But if you're
Right.
determined that you can bring the individual, and yes, also the safety and the sanctity can be managed, work on it. It's not bad at all. In fact, it is like good to go in for treatment instead of getting a life lost just like that.
Right. So we take some quickly some more questions we have, ma'am. So many people are saying thank you to you, ma'am, for your wonderful answers. And
Thank you.
there is one Nivedita is there, ma'am. What would you like to tell the young generation at this moment?
Okay. I would like to say younger generation that love your parents, love your family, and listen to what they would say, because it's meant for your highest good. And your family can always be of great support to you, your parents, your siblings specifically. And yeah, if you have a difficulty, go talk to them. Don't brood inside, or rather, don't store it inside. And yeah, play a lot, read a lot,
Yeah.
enjoy life. And yet if you feel burdened with a lot of books and a lot of studies, go back and tell to your teacher and your parents that
Mhm.
it's getting too much. So also take holidays, yeah, with your parents. That will help you with your detox. So there are so many ways. So engage in what makes you positively happy with the right outlook. And yeah,
Yeah.
rest well, stay away from technology.
So we take, ma'am. There is Mrs. Sukhdev again. Some asking, ma'am. I can help giving positive thoughts and help in coming out of the depression, especially home ladies. Share we eat is what we are.
uh, yeah, yeah, you can definitely give positive thoughts. And
Hmm.
that's one of the way, like as I said, Sukhdevji, depression is an internal darkness. We have to come out of it. It takes a lot of courage to work on that inner darkness. It may have a lot of failures within. It may have pictures what we think was real, but it was not actually meant to
Hmm.
have so much of darkness. And yet also, the emotional energies can drain us internally. So anyone who's there in the environment to bring them out of depression can be a bit challenging. But of course, our intention to help them out, that's our first understanding. And if our intention is there, they begin to feel valued, they begin to open up to that talk of conversation, and bring them out of the stage of the depression. Yes, yeah, physically I see that females, they do go through depression more at this phase of the time, because many of the times, now the generation is way advanced. They find their purpose, they are independent, they find their freedom in all aspects, whether it is in relationship, financial life, all aspects of freedom is there, because the lifestyle of the universe has improved. But there was
Hmm.
a phase in our life where our younger generation ancestors, or primarily our parents 40, 50 years ago, they were more constrained toward just taking care of the children. Of course, we are an outcome of that happiness that our parents were there. Our primarily our mother was there in the house when we would get back. But again, those people at times, they might have had strong desires and strong visions, but they curtail it in the name of the sacrifice of the family or the belief systems of the family. Then when the children grows up, matures, and they go out, it becomes like an empty nest, as we call in psychology, and they don't know what to do, because the whole of the
Right.
life has revolved around taking care of the feeds of the children, or comfort of the children, or sleep of the children, even when they
Right.
have become adults. So what
Yeah.
has happened is now the purpose is not there. That's where there is a vacuum, and that's when depression sets in. And world has become so opened up, like children having ambitions and aspirations may move out of cities, out of countries, go to a different country altogether, where the timelines are different, lifestyles are different, and they may get very easily adapted to that lifestyle, because mindset of comfort is already given by the conditioning of the parents. But parents, or the ladies specifically, they feel that everything is gone out of their space, and that's when also I see depression setting in. And yeah, I mean that the seher that you are talking about is the holy food that you give in the in your this thing. Maybe that is what it is. So of course, that's a very holy food, because it's cooked in a very holy community, and the thought that it is meant to serve the prasad that we call it as, it's supposed to be very good. But yeah, building up positive hope and filling the vacuum, eliminating the darkness, is what we have to do. And how can we do that? We can help them to connect with inner meditation, which is, we can train them to come out with the meditation, face the inner mind, face the fears, eliminate it through the breath, allow light to get inside, and also get them to engage with something that adds purpose to their life. Like I see these small scale kind of industries sometimes, females in their age of late 40s and 50s, they're stepping up and doing, let's make organic pickles, or organic something connected to nature. Let's do this. Though the outlook is not about selling it or making money, it is to find a purpose. So it's a purpose that keeps an individual happy. So getting them to realize that physical age is should not be a limitation, should not be a barrier, yet you can do so many things. You can write, if you're good with your this thing, you can write. Go engage in a hobby class that can develop probably your vocal skills, that gives you your voice to speak out. So finding meaning, finding purpose in the life, and also getting connected with larger network where humanity is available mentally, emotionally, and morally for that. So that helps them to beat the depression, and not give drugs, rather to give to treat depression, I would suggest. Because
Right.
again, anything that is chemical goes into the
Yes.
system of the body and it alters the DNA.
So
So
another ma'am, quickly we take the answer. We take the question. Sukhdev Singh want to know that can the addicted person become a healer? And also he want to know, are you from no Delhi? No ma'am, ma'am is from the Mumbai. And I will share the number, Sukhdev ji, and you can just contact her definitely.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, though I'm born in
So
India, my
these
parents are
questions,
from
can
India.
addicted person can become healer?
Yes.
Very good question.
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I've seen
Yeah,
that,
this is
like,
positive. I think this is very positive things.
yeah, I give you my example, Sukhdevji. Like, when I felt my life was in the epitome of the level, I never thought I would ever retire from my corporate job. Okay, many things happened. One of the things was about the death that I wanted to ask as an answer. So, when that pain came over to find the answer, what is the meaning of life? Then you lost your interest despite being a very good employee in the organization. And then you were able to successfully take over. And today, of course, many years, the last airline that I served was Jet Airways. Prior to the, Kingfisher, prior to that, it was Jet Airways. So when I quit Kingfisher, many people ask me, "What are you doing at the peak of your career? You're moving out, doing something, searching life." So, but did I have to validate that? Of course, no. I was giving my consciousness a try as to what it meant. So here I am, and then never knew I was meant to be writing books. I believe in life, I believe in spirituality, but I don't believe in astrology, I would say, which is very unconventional coming from the southern part of the family. I believe you can create a life of your understanding, provided you have value system, positive goals, you work on it day to day, and put efforts and believe that yes, it works. So in that transformation, a few years down the line, Kingfisher closed. So my ex-colleagues in the airline, they asked me, "How did you know that this airline is going to close?" And by that time, I was already a successful author as well. My book had hit
Okay.
the Flipkart, and it was a bestseller, and so
Okay.
also in the platform. And I had already received 2 awards at that time. And
Hmm.
I said, I don't know, I just pursued my call, right? So that was the inner
Okay.
call. Then,
Welcome.
yeah, wherever you worked with a lot of passion. People kept calling you from different cities and centers
Right.
and all. Come take the award, come take the award. And we kept on accumulating awards. But did I work for award? No. It became a passion to transform life. And If I would not see my calendar of traveling or connecting with people, I find that, okay, am I living my life to the fullest potential? Or what can I do to create the energy that can transform individuals? So the transformation came, and Mindscan became a foundation where many people are working and associated with a larger plan and their vision. So I did not know that this vision is going to become this big, right? But it is an experience of my own life that brought me to what I am. But so here, when you're talking about addiction, what does it mean that, uh, can you not become a healer? Of course, you can become a healer. In fact, when you have gone through it, you become a better healer. That's the best thing, because you exactly know what happens when addiction is there in your space. And what if your aim, you went through that phase, you have come out of it, you have successfully outgrown the difficulty. Now you can be a mentor, you can be a teacher, or you can be a bigger healer for many in the humanity. So eventually your good karma will get accounted and will get benefited, because no matter you went through the tough phase, but tomorrow and today you are becoming a torch bearer for many who are living in the darkness there. So that's a bigger purpose, right? So of course it's very good if your call is there and you want to become a healer to transform on that level. It will be awesome. I mean, it will be very good. Yeah, we'll be happy to help you as well in this space if you would wish to reach out. Otherwise, yeah,
Mm.
whole of the
Yeah,
universe is for you. Yeah.
yes. Definitely, those who are interested and who are interested in the healing modalities and all, definitely you can approach ma'am. And she has so many courses. You can become a great healer under her guidance. And we have the madam forum Ranwala. And hello, ma'am. My son takes weed join daily and not understanding it is 17 weeks. What do try to a lot? He get angry very much. What I should I do, please?
Okay. For him, this question kind of like helps me to ask you if there is anyone in your family that has influenced him in a way that he feels that there is a void or a vacuum for which he is become dependent on it, or did he go through any internal abuse at any phase of the life, or any trauma or emotional bullying which you guys are not aware about and which made him connected, or it was a simple pleasure which he went into. So youngsters who are connected and dependent upon the need of weeds day to day has internal aggression that is there, and plus their purpose is not identified. And I understand it can be a way, very difficult phase as well as a challenge for you all to go ahead. But getting him to orient back to a professional therapist, or a center that can help him to heal internally, and where he can bring out that need about why he needs to go in for those weeds, and can definitely help him. But yeah, also one of the most important thing that I would want to tell you, you all as parents, is don't fear the outcome. That's the most important thing. Now when a child usually is angry or is dependent, when the parents are aware that this is wrong, and when they go to speak that, he may show a tantrum or an outburst of anger, so they may feel it's scary, let's not do that. So first of all, take your mental comprehension to the right direction of strength, but yet stop giving him anything that can give rise to further addiction, because already the damage might have gone in pretty strongly. And cut away from all of the help him to cut away from his friends, and for which again I would say, like, if he's not listening, then consider to check him into a center from where he can come out of this, or you all equip yourself, learn, so that he can come out of this. For that, yeah, again, balancing empathy, a stronger discipline, a value system, and making him available, that you all are available for him. And also like something like encouraging him to drink more water, cutting away from technology. And there are some remedies that is we call as the backflower remedies. This works on the personality and the emotions of an individual. So the personality type of the child is identified, or an adult is tried, identified, and based on the remedies are given. So the remedies actually, because they are essences from the nature as flowers, it begins to work on the emotional, unhealed elements. And along with that, a combination of energy healing therapies all can really work. Yeah, so for them it's very true that they will never be ready. First of all, an addict will never say I'm an addict, and they will never be open to the remedies or the therapies. But it is in your higher awareness that you know that he needs treatment, right? So you have to work on it. And that's what, work out on your inner state. First of all, how to work on it. If you want to reach out to us to connect, and we will be happy to help you all prepare understanding how this has come as a pattern within him. But yeah, definitely you can influence, see who is the influencer behind him. Energy healing can work in cases where they are not ready physically. We can also carry out energy healing through distance levels, where the barriers are, worked over for resolution, and individual begins to internally transform when the healing is transformed. But yes, parents needs to go through a process which can help the child to come back, which can be worked out. We have done in many cases where they are not available, and it's very tough to get an addict to come for therapy, because their mindset is not grounded, right?
Hmm. I think
Yeah,
some she's not able to understand or something. She's
yeah. She can
okay.
write to us, she can
Yeah.
contact us, we can
Yeah,
help
you
in.
can contact Famji, you can contact directly to the ma'am so that you can directly chat with the ma'am so that you can get more clarity on this. And just regarding that, ma'am, this energy healing. So, how effective is the energy healing medicine to overcome from the drug addiction? This is the question we have. We have so many questions, but lastly we'll take a question, and we have a lot of time. We have already taken. So,
Wow, yeah, we have already reached 9:30 p.m. Okay,
yeah,
so this is gone for a long time. Very
yeah.
interesting. So yeah, I would strongly support energy healing medicine, not just because I practice it, but I have found the cure out of it.
Hmm.
There have been so many cases in the live sessions or therapies where I've seen individuals undergoing transformation. They can be, addicted to cocaine or to weed or to cigarette smoking or alcohol or even chemical drug, and that might have affected their body. But when they have gone through the internal energy healing, so what happens is the transformation occurs within. We don't have to conceal any facts. The facts are right within for them to observe, and that's what gives them the light to reflect and transform. There have been cases as well which I have seen, in addiction. People have tried to end lives. There have been cases, might have been standing on the threshold of a building wanting to jump and end the life, or cut themselves with knife, because their consciousness is not there in the awareness. They are doing something which is in, control of other things. So even those individuals we have healed, brought them back to life, and they have found meaning and purpose in lives. And some of them are very successful individuals in the field of life, who are there in the larger pictures available. So we should not fear addiction, and neither we should think that there will be no outcome. Energy healing is a very natural modality, because this has always existed earlier also. It's not a new invention. It has existed in the earlier eras of our life, or we call as the phases and the Vedic eras of our life. And again, it is coming back to the naturality, because earth is needing it. And that is why there are world over lots and lots of energy healing practitioners. When an energy healing practitioner or an individual works in the consciousness of healing, they are not just healing the earth, or they are not just healing an individual. They are bringing about a complete shift of light in the universe that they are working with. So it's a huge blessing, I would say. And it definitely brings back the naturality of life. And anything that is natural has no side effects.
Right.
that we are all aware of.
That's the beauty of things now. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much, man, for explaining. We have a lot of questions, but the time is too, we have already exceeded too much time because there's a question of so many questions, and we want to take all the questions. But definitely, this is a very vast, subject and topic. So definitely, we will come again on this topic again, definitely with a lot of more things. And before we close, ma'am, we were just want to know. I just come to know that there is you have the one So there is one workshop you are announcing, and can you just let us know the workshop about the workshop, ma'am?
Okay. So we just completed some, and in the month of October, we are coming up with one of our detailed workshop by the name of Ancestral Healing and Education Program. Now,
Yeah,
this is a healing program which is channeled and it has been there for many, many, many years. Now we have been practicing it from 2015 onwards, I would say, and it has transformed the life of many lineages, because here an individual who may be suffering from an earth difficulty, in an earth difficulty coming from the belief systems or emotions of ancestors, or issues that are not closed in the ancestral lineage and they recreate it in the present lineage. So we have a 4 module level of ancestral healing program, which is a detailed process. It's a spiritual process as well, but also what we do is we address more than 30 issues of the ancestors that is role playing in our life. And of course there is a sacred method that we do as peace offering and liberation, and work on the higher upgradation of the ancestors, which gives rise to the shift in the reality. And like, if I can say some examples how this would have transformed, okay, some of the people's lives.
right.
So sometimes death is a very painful thing for the left ones to match up to the consciousness of reality, because that vacuum is something that can be very painful. So like, there are unfulfilled or incomplete work that the soul suddenly dies and then has gone back. So the earth person goes through a lot of depression or trauma, and they don't want to leave and they feel depressed immediately, wanting to end their life. So this healing definitely brings life back to them. And then also times what we have seen is issues in the body or issues in the life, financial irregularities, or despite taking their best efforts, how life keeps falling all the time, and which may be coming from the ancestral beliefs, and at times health issues that is passed down from the generations ahead. When we heal it in the process, it clears the entire family out of that suffering. And this being a sacred process of healing, this is carried out in the lights of the ascended masters, but it is not just a healing program, it is a teaching program as well. So individuals who are wanting to work with humanity, work with ancestral resolutions as energy healer, this is also a certification program. And anyone who is wanting to help humanity or resolve their personal self life issues, they are open. They get all tools, something like, which is known as an ancestral chart. They get divination decks of ancestors, masters. Then they receive other things that are meant for identifying the issues. And very effectively, when you work on the issues, 100% result is seen, not as a verbal conversation, but as a reality we have seen. But of course it's a deep energy process, and plus also we take something which is known as a self-healing process. What is a self-healing process? Which means we know for health we have to practice the food discipline. For also for that we have to practice discipline with exercise. Likewise for spirituality, our ascension, our purpose, we have to practice self-healing. So meditation is one of the ways, but of course self-healing, which is also a deeper process where we work with our own inner consciousness and layers with the lights of the masters, helps us to enhance our energy, and we feel more positively charged, more stronger, and our work capabilities actually increases because we are in the light all the time. And that's something that is taught. And what we have seen is people find more happiness while practicing self healing. And that's the way also to reduce the darkness and the depression and the lower energies on the earth. The more the humanity aligns to light, better the aspect. So ancestral healing is that part of the self where it is detailed program. We heal, resolve, find a meaning in life, and most importantly, the seven lineages of ancestors, which is having 128 ancestors above us, who governs our consciousness, is influencing us with their beliefs, their emotions, their traumas, or their baggages, which is passed down through our DNA, and which can be presented in any method in your life. So we resolve it, and there is a huge energetic shift because of that. And that's the program that is coming up in October.
Right.
Yeah, other than that, every month, as I said, we have programs coming over,
Very well
because
put, right.
people reach out to us, when is your next program and what are the dates that is available. So you will always get connected to a lot of programs that
Yeah.
is life transforming. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lovely program, ma'am, and wish you all the best for your upcoming program. And I'm sure that will be going great success. And whosoever want to join this program, definitely we are flashing the number. We on the comment box also you will get the number, direct number of ma'am. So you can directly approach to ma'am to joining the session and about the drug or about the psychology, any for life. She's a life coach. So if any issue related to spirituality and healing modalities, you can approach ma'am directly, and you can approach to me also. I can also can connect you to the ma'am. There is no issue, and definitely it's a very great session, ma'am. And thank you so much being with us and giving the great knowledge. And I'm sure this the topics we have taken about the drugs, it will help lots of people to change and transform their life, and they will understand the importance of the our their life, and they will definitely come forward to heal their life and to make their life happy, healthy, and peaceful, and even their families also. So before we close, ma'am, we want to just take a small note from you. What your message about the drug is today's topic. So we are just talking about discussing about the drugs and impact on the this body, mind, and soul, because the drug impact our entire life. It is body, is it mind or soul? Because everything is connected. And definitely, if you want there's a peaceful and happy, healthy life, then definitely we have to focus on body, mind, and soul, and definitely come forward to cure it as soon as possible before your life get miserable. So, ma'am, your message for this, ma'am.
So the insight that is coming up right now is, consider drug as, a weed that grows around, destroying everything around, because that's the nature of the weed.
Yeah.
So when the weed is there in an environment or a nature, it destroys all the other crops or the plants around, because it is a sucker. So,
Hmm.
so that even the drug that you talk about is actually an energy sucker.
Hmm.
So be conscious, be aware about how is it going to help you. Of course, if there is no help about it, what can you do not to be a victim of that weed? So a very strong message that your mind is far more stronger, your life is far more precious than being a victim to the energy of drug. So you go for prescription drugs when it is in need, that's a different thing, but don't get into anything which is self medication, and also a drug that can hamper your system and which is illegal, which is not in the laws of your country or in the city. Honor that country has to function, and all countries world over, when they function, is where a humanity that is safe, which is happier, is created. There are a lot of chaos already existing in the universe world over, but what can we do is we can take moral charge of our own consciousness, of our own family, and thus step up and help more to join that campaign, a world, a universe that is free and safe for everyone to live, and in the harmony of universal brotherhood and oneness, because we are all belonging to the one source that we call as a supreme light or the divine. Whatever our faith might be, the faith is what you have chosen in your life to take your lessons of your life. But rise above into the light and eventually have a life which is safe, and which means use your mental intelligence to realize that your life is very very precious, and it is meant for larger work instead of being succumbing to anything which is going to affect your life. So that's what, keep your mind safe is what I have to say. So thank you. Yeah, lovely interacting and connecting with everyone. I think the questions were very, very interesting and very apt. Our group was well read and
Right.
very interactive.
Yeah.
And yeah, to hang on to the screen like this for more than 1 hour, 1.5 hour, I think
Yeah.
it is a very open group. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, because the questions are keep coming, and we want to because the topic is so important. So we have tried to take all the questions, but unfortunately we have a lot of questions need to be answered. But definitely in the next session we will take it. And if you have something, to definitely please write us, and the comment box you can comment on the things how you like the show, and please take like the page, and also share. Don't forget to share this unique informative session, so that lots of people and other people can also get benefited out of it. So ma'am have explained a lot of things, and I think most of the topics and more the aspects she have covered. And in any case you want to approach her, so you can directly just approach her. We are just giving the number. And also, if you want to join the ma'am session, this upcoming session in October, so definitely you can approach to me and ma'am directly. तो अब इसके साथ ही थैंक यू सो मच गाइज आपके साथ जुड़ने के लिए, एंड फॉर योर लविंग क्वेश्चन एंड वेरी इंटरेक्टिव सेशन, एंड liking our show and sharing our shows. Thank you so much, and see you soon. We'll come again with the new topics to video, and definitely we will request ma'am to come again with different other topics on our show. So all this bless you everyone. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Namaskar ma'am. Thank you for
Thank you so
thank
much.
you
Thank you,
ma'am.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.